Walton Goggins' wife, Nadia Connors, addressed speculation about his relationship to White Lotus co-star Aimee Lou Wood. Goggins, 53, and Wood, 31, played doomed lovers Rick and Chelsea in the third season of the HBO Emmy-winning anthology series. The co-stars took part in promotion of the show together, but fans noticed they soon stopped following one another on social media. That silence became deafening. People wondered why she wasn't speaking up. Why wasn't she denying the growing chatter about Aimee Lou Wood? Had something happened behind closed doors? Was this just another example of Hollywood's illusion of perfection crumbling under pressure? Or was the truth far more mundane than the internet cared to believe? Nadia's eventual response didn't come in the form of a press release or a flashy Instagram post. It came in her own voice, measured yet powerful, raw yet composed. She didn't scream, she didn't accuse, and she certainly didn't play the victim. What she did was far more human. She told her side of the story. It turns out the speculation was built on fragments of contextless moments taken wildly out of proportion. Nadia began by recounting how she and Walton first met, a love story that bloomed not in the glare of camera flashes, but in quiet coffee shops and long philosophical conversations. Their bond, she emphasized, was not one born of convenience or status, but of deep intellectual connection and mutual respect. And then came the mention of Aimee Lou Wood. According to Nadia, she had met Aimee on multiple occasions, always in group settings, always with kindness exchanged. There was no friction, no undercurrent of tension. In fact, she described Aimee as a beautiful spirit, someone passionate about her craft and disarmingly grounded despite her rising fame. But Nadia didn't stop there. She went deeper, peeling back the layers of what it means to live in the public eye, to have strangers dictate the narrative of your most intimate relationships. She spoke of the invasive nature of modern media, how algorithms reward controversy over truth, and how easily perception can become reality when repeated often enough. Her words struck a chord, not just with fans, but with fellow artists, writers, and even critics. The story suddenly wasn't about scandal anymore. It was about a woman reclaiming her story in an environment that rarely allows for nuance. Nadia's courage in addressing the speculation without bitterness or rage reframed the entire conversation. Meanwhile, Walton Goggins remained relatively silent, choosing instead to support Nadia from the sidelines. He appeared beside her at a literary fundraiser just days after her statement, holding her hand as paparazzi flashes lit up the red carpet. There was no dramatic proclamation, no performative show of unity, just two people who had weathered a storm and chose to stand side by side. As for Aimee Lou Wood, she issued a brief comment through her publicist, expressing her admiration for both Nadia and Walton, and lamenting the tendency of the media to pit women against each other. She declined further interviews on the matter, choosing to focus instead on her upcoming projects and her personal growth as an actress. And yet, the public remained hungry for more. Videos began surfacing analyzing Nadia's body language, dissecting every pause in her statement, every shift in tone. Some channels pushed conspiracy theories, others offered support. It became a cultural moment, a conversation about trust, about celebrity, about the invisible lines between public and private lives. What makes this story truly unique is how it unfolded not with a bang, but with grace. There were no screaming matches, no TMZ ambushes, no cryptic Instagram unfollows. Instead, there was clarity. Nadia's statement served as both a shield and a mirror, reflecting not just her own truth, but the collective hunger for drama that often blinds us to the humanity of those we follow. In a world where silence is often interpreted as guilt, Nadia's decision to speak was an act of reclamation. It reminded everyone that real relationships are far more complex than what tabloids portray. They involve conversations at midnight, laughter over shared meals, silent support in moments of doubt, things that don't make headlines but form the fabric of real love. And in this case, the love between Walton and Nadia didn't just survive the speculation, it grew stronger. Friends close to the couple shared stories of how they leaned on each other during the whirlwind, how they spent more time off social media, more time with their son, and how Nadia channeled the experience into her writing. She's working on a new essay collection, insiders say, one that explores the intersection of fame, femininity, and truth in the digital age. Meanwhile, Aimee Lou Wood continued her ascent, starring in a critically acclaimed indie film and winning praise for her nuanced performance. She never let the rumors define her, and in many ways emerged even more respected for the dignity with which she handled the scrutiny. This entire saga became more than just celebrity gossip, it became a reflection of our cultural moment. The way stories are spun, the way women are pitted against each other, the way love is questioned under a microscope, and perhaps most importantly, the way silence can be both a weapon and a refuge. For Nadia Connors, breaking that silence wasn't about setting the record straight for others, it was about finding peace for herself. And in doing so, she reminded the world that sometimes the strongest thing you can do isn't to yell the truth, but to live it unapologetically. In the days that followed, the rumors began to die down, replaced by conversations about the toxic nature of online speculation. Several entertainment journalists even issued quiet retractions, acknowledging their role in fueling the narrative without sufficient evidence. It was a small but meaningful shift, a moment of introspection in an industry that often runs on relentless momentum. And through it all, Nadia remained poised, grounded in the values that first drew her to Walton, their shared love for literature, for activism, for storytelling that transcends the superficial. She continued her work in environmental advocacy, appeared on a panel about women in media, and used her platform to highlight stories that mattered. What could have been a tabloid tragedy instead became a testament to resilience. It showed that it's possible to respond with dignity, to lead with truth, and to refuse to be reduced to a clickbait headline. Nadia Connors didn't just break her silence, she rewrote the script, and in doing so, she offered something rare in the realm of celebrity: authenticity. An unfiltered look at the cost of fame, the strength of love, and the power of owning your narrative.